Every time we gain ground in the culture war, every time we get a dub, it seems like something else happens to remind us that Gamergate 2 is ongoing in full force. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and yes, if you hadn't heard, CD Projekt Red developer Mary Kenney, who declared every lever must be pulled to push LGBTQ agenda, hints that she is now working on the Cyberpunk 2077 sequel, which is bad enough as it is. But if you recall, just a couple days ago, we also heard The Witcher 4 stars Geralt of Rivia, but not as the main character. So yes, if you're a fan of CD Projekt Red, if you're a fan of The Witcher, if you're a fan of Cyberpunk 2077, well, these upcoming games probably not going to be to your liking if you've got any sense of standards or something normal for video games going forward. So we're going to get into these articles. Before we do, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and yeah, this one's going to get spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Mary Kenney, the former associate narrative director at Insomniac Games, and of course, you know, anyone that jumped ship working from Insomniac Games now work for CD Projekt Red. Well, we all saw what was going on in, I don't know, Spider-Man 2 and the absolute destruction that game was. I mean, just modern leftist ideology abound in that game. And yeah, of course, they're going to take that over to CD Projekt Red. To be fair, we shouldn't really be surprised. CD Projekt Red, already an incredibly ideologically driven company for a very particular side of the political aisle. So again, none of this should come as a shock, but it just makes you remember, oh right, it doesn't matter how many videos we make about Sweet Baby Inc. It doesn't matter how many, multiple hundreds of thousands and even millions of views a lot of us in this culture war get combined. These companies are only going to listen to one thing. They're going to listen to money. They're going to listen to the wallets. So this is just, your forewarning going in that when these games come out, it doesn't matter how much you love the previous entries. And again, Cyberpunk 2077 is quite literally full of ideological bogus, but at least sort of makes sense in the context of what Cyberpunk stands for. Either way, yeah, you're going to have to do some major voting going ahead. Kenney initially announced she joined CD Projekt Red in the post to LinkedIn. Without further ado, it's time to announce my new job. Today was my first day as senior writer at CD Projekt Red, best known for the Witcher series and Cyberpunk 2077. She then added, "I can't talk about my project. I'm thrilled to be getting back into RPGs, and my team is talented, welcoming, and just flat out cool. Here's to a new adventure." And yeah, lo and behold, we know what the project is, or at least we're pretty damn sure the project is the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077, which is known right now as Project Orion. And then the article does go on to detail that. In a follow-up post, she provided more clarity and revealed that during the meetings with CD Projekt Red, she discussed the company's Project Orion, which is their follow-up to Cyberpunk 2077. "My inbox remains filled with people asking for the spicy tea on my recent job change, so the post is to assure everyone there is in fact no tea, just a plate of vanilla wafers and pastel frosting." Again, she didn't get fired from Insomniac. This wasn't like a cleaning house, because we've been hearing all these rumors behind the scenes as of late that, oh, the gaming industry is changing. Look, they're getting back, I guess, pale and white male and pale ain't exactly stale anymore, because that was the big thing for a while, pale and male is stale. Yeah, no. We've been hearing rumors that Hollywood is cleaning up shop, the video game industry is cleaning up shop, and I'm here to tell you guys, unfortunately, that is not true. I mean, maybe it's true for Hollywood. I'll believe it when I see it. We have actually had some pretty decent run of films as of late that do show that could be the case. But when it comes to gaming, no, it's bad. It's actually the worst it's ever been. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's been great to see the developers slowly but surely have to acknowledge that we are correct about the Sweet Baby Inc. situation. It's been they've been so great about firing individuals because they're making no money because what we're doing is actually working. But that seems to really only matter when it comes to the AA titles. I mean, things like Alan Wake, which still hasn't made its budget back yet, still hasn't turned a profit. Hilarious. When we see these indie companies like what we saw with the Capes game and Daedalic Entertainment coming back saying, "Oh no, we won't work with Sweet Baby Inc. anymore." I mean, let's be real. You're probably just saying that to save face, but you know what? I at least appreciate you saying it out into the ether because that just goes to show that at least we were correct. So yeah, it's still a dub no matter how you slice it in that regard. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to AAA gaming, when it comes to these large corporations like Insomniac, like CD Projekt Red, they have absolutely no intention of going back on their established ideology. They are in too deep. There needs to be something catastrophic happen before they finally go back to make gaming what it used to be. And by by the way, what it used to be was something that everybody enjoyed, not just straight white male dudes. That's not what I'm asking for. You know what? Growing up in the 90s, you could enjoy Spyro the Dragon or Crash Bandicoot regardless of whether you sucked cock or not. It really was that simple. And it's so strange they're mad at us for asking to a return of those simpler times when gaming really was for everybody, and by being for everybody, it didn't cater to ideologies regardless of where you stand on the political aisle. She continued, Insomniac and I didn't part on bad terms, even a little. I wasn't fired. I adore my former fellow directors on Marvel's Wolverine, and I don't intend to let any of them fall out of touch with me. A lot of my work is still in that thing. I'm rooting for the game and all of Insom's future products. And next, she revealed that she discussed the company's plans for Project Orion. 2, deciding to leave Insomniac was really hard. I had a great, fast-paced 5 years with the wonderful people I adore, but when I met the team and heard the details of Project Orion, I couldn't stay away. It's a dream project for me as a writer / gamer. We all know where I stand on female writers when it comes to today's modern ideology. They're trash. A lot of them are trash. Let's be real. I know that correlation don't exactly mean causation, but well, we have seen a correlation of games being absolute horrendous slop ever since women started to get more and more invested in the writing project. And let's be real, there probably is a causation there as well. I know that you get correlation and causation, not necessarily the same, but in this instance, I would be willing to bet they're the same. All I'm saying is that we can pretty much objectively say that video games were on average far better when it was just a bunch of sweaty dudes in, back offices, working late nights, doing a bunch of coding, writing down just some whatever they thought was fun or funny off the top of their head, or cool or interesting or hardcore, back in the 90s, the early 2000s, when we had some of the best games of all time. Yeah, there really weren't a lot of women in the writing room. It just is what it is. So from there she says, CD Projekt Red stated in October 2022, Orion is a code name for our next Cyberpunk game, which will take the Cyberpunk franchise further and continue harnessing the potential of this dark future universe. Well, oddly enough, this is the future that we are headed towards in real life if we continue letting these corporations rape and destroy the culture that we love so much. As for Kenney's comments about pushing LGBTQ agenda, she discussed a GLAAD report bemoaning the lack of LGBTQ characters in video games with DualShockers in May. Kenney said, the GLAAD report tells us something key. Games are a way for LGBT people to socialize, but also tells us something heartbreaking. The LGBTQ gamers don't feel that developers are thinking of them when they design games. Good! First of all, bullshit, because again, Spider-Man 2 is the immediate example at the top of the head, but literally, I mean, the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadow, oh, you guys wanted so badly to have your Black Samurai because you needed that representation. Oh, and now you're gonna make that Black Samurai a cocksucker as well. Yes, Yasuke has the option to be gay. Baldur's Gate, you can fuck literally anything and everything with a pulse in that game. Let's be real, games have just been abound with homoeroticism for God knows how long now, so clearly you are being thought of, but let's run with what you're saying. Let's say you're not being thought of. Good. I don't want my developers thinking of homos. I don't want my developers thinking of straight folk either. I want my developers thinking of, will people enjoy this good game, this good narrative, this good story? Will they be able to wrap their head around the intricacies of the gameplay? Will they enjoy the art style? And frankly, all the shit that actually matters when we're trying to get into some sort of escapist, just an escapist hobby. It really is that simple. She added, there are so many LGBTQ developers, and we want what players want, to design experiences that tell the player, we're here, we're important, we belong. You're not, though. You're not important. Just like the straight folk aren't important. What's important is making good games that make money, which you haven't been doing as of late, by the way, on account of 25,000 layoffs in the last year and a half, give or take. So, maybe stop focusing so much on who folks go to sleep with and just craft objectively good games. Again, you wouldn't know what my sexual preference was just by sitting down and watching me play Jak and Daxter. At least I don't think there's anything about that game that just screams, I'm straight, I promise. Anyway, in order to obtain this, she declared, we need to pull every lever we have, characters, community support, mechanics, make it so. Again, they are going full in with this modern leftist ideology. I'm not saying this as if it's some surprise, because it's not, but it's when they're so brazen as to say it openly out loud, in the climate we're in, when we see the video game industry already in shambles, it just goes to show you they do not care about the industry. They do not care about trying to fix gaming. They don't care about trying to deliver a good product. All that matters is their viewpoint, their political ideology, their political leanings. I mean, it really is that simple. And I know a million of you guys have heard this before, but for all we know, this is going to be someone's first introduction to hearing this, and when they think, man, wow, we've had really crap games the last 5 years. And these are what the writers are talking about? That should be eye-opening to you. This is about The Witcher 4 starring Geralt of Rivia, but not as the main character. So, yeah, we're gonna get Ciri. We're gonna get Ciri in The Witcher 4. So I hope you guys really had your fun with that. You know, with the grand Witcher franchise that everyone knows and loves because of Geralt. Let's be real. I'm not even gonna say Cyberpunk 2 won't sell, because even it could be as woke as Seattle during Pride Month, and Cyberpunk 2 gonna sell. Cyberpunk 2 is one of those games that people will be absolutely looking forward to. Maybe about 3 to 4 months, maybe even 6 months to a year after release, because we know it's going to launch broken. But The Witcher 4, yeah, let's be real, Geralt is the reason for people to play that game. When the Witcher TV show came out and Geralt was treated like a joke and Henry was the only one taking it seriously, the fans rejected what had gone. Season 1 was fine, people liked Season 1, Season 2, 3 came out, it was rejected. Then they made that spin-off show that didn't have Henry Cavill, and it bombed. It bombed so hard, it was like the second coming of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the Netflix realized, oh, people don't want a female-led Witcher. They don't want a Witcher without Geralt. Yeah, it really is that simple. And Geralt of Rivia voice actor Doug Cockle revealed the White Wolf will star in the next mainline Witcher game, codenamed Polaris, but not as the main character. Developer CG Projekt Red has long made clear the Geralt saga had come to an end, meaning a new protagonist was fully expected for Polaris, but this is the first confirmation that he'll be in the next game at all, and fuels some rampant fan theories. Again, anyone familiar with the games, you know, it's going to be Ciri. It's going to be a female. It's going to be Ciri. Don't even really need to go through the article. Really, this video was just made to show you guys that throughout all the dubs we've been getting, and we have been getting some dubs, I don't want you to feel disheartened. I don't want you to be like, well, what's the point, and give up and just denounce gaming as a whole. No. Just keep supporting projects that are actually made for you, the gamer. Black, white, male, female, gay, straight, doesn't matter. The ones that are actually made with the objective quality of, let's make a fun gameplay experience devoid of modern day politics, regardless of what the direction they lean in. That is the important thing. I could not give a fuck less what the developers' sexual proclivities are. I couldn't care less if they believe in feminism and you know, gay rights for all, and they want high taxes and they're voting Kamala Harris. If those are your own personal beliefs, by all means have them. You're retarded for having them, but you're allowed to have them. But don't let them infect my goddamn games. And that is exactly what this one wants to do. She wants to make a primary focus on LGBTQ gaming. Well, let me tell you, LGBTQ folk are about, if we're being generous, 7% of the population. And 7% of the population cannot sustain a multi-billion-dollar industry. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about gamergate or the video game industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 80 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to join and grow even further, because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. So if that's interesting to you, hit subscribe, join the Discord, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.